All righty. Howdy, everybody. I appreciate
Hey,
each and every one of you for being here.
yes.
We're still short two board members. One said be here, but the other wasn't sure. So, all right. So, let's jump into it. Y'all saw the PDF for the accounting. Does anyone have any questions about it?
No.
All right. It's now laid out much better, easier for you to read and know where expenses are going, since we're paying QuickBooks for that service. So that will help everybody get a better sense of where the money's coming and going and all that fun stuff. So if somebody would like to accept it, make a motion to accept it.
I motion to accept the financial reports.
Okay, anybody
Second the
second?
motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
righty. Thank you very much. Let's move on. Okay. So under old business, we have the promotion of the magazine. As you know, the first electric issue went out in January. The second one went out April 1st. And thank you, Becky, for helping me find those little quirks in it. That helped, I think, make it look better. What did y'all think of it?
I thought they were really good. I did. I just hope we can make some money. Are we not charging for them though, are we?
Yeah, the magazine as an electronic issue is free. The way we're trying to make money from it is by selling the ads.
Ads.
Yeah. And that is on the website under the magazine banner. There's all different types of sizes and everything that people can get, but unfortunately, pretty much all of them are free. We did sell 4 ads, I believe, total. But yeah, otherwise it's all free. So I know it's going to be tough. And one, it's an expense, and we haven't created a track record for it yet. But I suspect, by the end of the year, we'll definitely have a good track record with it. Especially with the next issue, it's already at 30 pages, which is 8 more than what we did this time. And more people are participating with the ads, or with articles and stuff like that. So that's going to help us gain more exposure, more witness. Plus, our outreach has also grown already this year and getting more people aware of who we are and stuff. So that helps. Our membership is still low, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Well, I still got to get that stuff to you. It's on this other computer, my Apple stuff is, so I got to figure out how to get it done.
Okay.
I ain't forgot about it.
Yeah. All right.
But the magazine did look good.
Good. I got to figure out something about the cover. I really am trying to avoid the cover looking like every other magazine with one big picture and all the headlines. But at the same time, all these little things don't always work as well. So I may have to reach out to somebody who has more experience on the cover to give me a better guideline on what to do with it and stuff. There's Charlotte. The next one's not due out until July. I'm hoping though to have it done sooner than that, but it probably won't get done before July 1st, simply because of Lone Star. But yeah, it's looking good and I'm happy with it. It's also fun to work with it. So we still have the Christmas edition, the special issue out there, and that's the one we really want to push ads for so that it becomes a value. This coming issue has a list of all the bookstores in Texas in it. And the ones that reached out to us, we're including their logos. So that's looking good on that respects. And then we have a couple other things that we'll be talking about in a moment. Are there any other questions about it? No? Okay, so I'll move on. Short story contest is back on track. Currently, we have 3 entries for it, which is not surprising at this point. I'd like to see us up to about 24 where we were before. I know I've got about probably 2 or 3 more people sending stuff in over the next month.
Mhm.
But yeah, we definitely want to get back up to where we were. I mean, this whole year is building us back to 2019 levels,
Yes.
basically. So we'll see how that goes and stuff. But it's on track and we're doing everything. We haven't started any promotion with the student short story contest simply because that's still a bit away. But we'll try to have that in the July issue as well to promote it and see what we can do with that. Okay. Next item is the new website. What do y'all think of it?
I liked it. I really did.
Is it smoother, easier?
I thought it was easy to navigate. Yes.
Okay. Did it
I
look more
must admit,
professional?
yeah, I glanced at it. I didn't spend as much time as I would like.
Yeah. What about you, Becky? You're always, I can't hear you. Your mic's not working, Becky. You want to type it into comments?
Mhm.
And how about you, Charlotte? Have you had a chance to see it?
Yes, I looked at it and I thought it looked pretty good. And it was a little easier. I'm kind of like Denise. I didn't spend as much time in it as I wanted to, but I think it looks better.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, 1 second. Where's the notes? Why is the notes not showing up? Hmm. For some reason, Becky, the notes are not showing up.
Yeah, I can see the chat, but I can't see anything written in it.
I can, there's that. No.
I got a question. What hosting site did you use?
Duble, I believe it's called. Let me pull it up real quick. It's inexpensive overall. We're still having to use the other one simply because we have over 1,000 pages worth of stuff. I think we're actually up to about 3,000 pages of stuff. But for this front end, which is pretty much everything you're seeing right now, is Duble. Come on, where is it? Trying to find, there it is. Nope, that's not it. Let's do this, 1 second. Log out and yeah, Durable, DURABLE
I never heard
.co.
of that.
Yeah, I hadn't heard either, but they are AI assistant. So it helped a lot as far as creating the pages and stuff.
Mhm.
And it is
Mhm.
real easy to work with. So the ease of working with it and the cost was the reason why I decided to go with this one. Right now, we're paying $25 a month for that, and then $40 a month for the back end, which is still a whole mess that I'm going through and trying to fix and clean up and stuff. But at least the front end looks good, and you know, hopefully that will give us more credibility back again, which we so desperately need.
Can you hear this?
Hey, there you are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I keep trying different buttons. Okay. If not, I had a little piece of paper.
All right, so what did you think of the website?
I'm like them. I looked at it, but you know, I've slept since then. I really don't remember, but I think I liked it. I mean, I just hadn't delved into it, but it did look better or did look good.
Okay.
I'll go
Alan, can
back
you
and
give me
look.
the website address again?
Sure, DURAB as in boy, LE.co.
Okay, DUR.
ABLE.co.
Okay, okay.
Alrighty. So yeah, we're constantly working on, constantly changing things.
Mhm.
From the time I actually sent out the email, say, hey, it's up. I've done a whole bunch of stuff to it to trying to keep it simple, but also make sure everything about us is on there and stuff. So all the book contest winners are listed in some format on there. Short story books, I mean, we're just constantly adding to it. Pretty much at a point where I'm almost completely done with it. And then I'm going to start finishing up on the back end. And the back end is all the author pages and all the book pages and all that stuff that we have. And that's going to take me the rest of the year to work with that and stuff, but it'll continue to improve as we go along and stuff. So, okay. All right, next thing, membership. So we've gained and we've lost, but we're still at 45 members. So nothing's changed on that level. Again, like I said, this is the year to try to build us back up. So the goal is to get us up to 300, 350. Membership prices are fairly reasonable. And I think people are starting to see more and more of what we are doing for them. And we'll go through some of the other stuff in a moment. But at least we're staying stable. Excuse me. So while we're losing, we're still gaining. So we're not too bad shape in that respect, but we definitely need to build it back up. So, all right, the Lone Star Festival, it's a month away. And Denise and Becky, I sent you guys the emails this morning about it. So keep up on that.
So I see here, Alan, that he canceled the film portion. So we just sent the money in for nothing?
Well, yes and no. On May 1st, they're supposed to announce who the winners are for the screenplay. So that it still is scheduled. I have no idea how they're doing it. I have no clue what's going to be the results or anything. We had agreed that they would help us create the film festival, and the contest was part of that. But all of a sudden they came along and said, hey, we decided we're not going to do it. Even though we had spent hours creating things for it, the advertising, the website, all the stuff that we were working on. And they just came along and said, hey, we're not going to do it. So yeah, that left us in bad shape because I'd been out there promoting it to the city, but also to other cities as part of this package that we can bring to them, like Forney and stuff like this. But now we don't have that at all. So yeah, they left us in a lurch. So there's not much I can do with them until after May 1st to see what they do as far as the winners. It's frustrating, but I just have to sit on my hands and see what happens. But if you do, because I know Denise, you had entered it. So if you do get emails as far as how they're going to announce it, share that with me, would you please?
I will.
So that's it on that one.
So the Lone Star Festival is going to be in the square at Seguin? Okay.
Correct. And I'm sure you and the two Denises are going to be wanting to be next to each other, correct?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that would be a good thing.
Yeah. So I'll make sure I put you in the right booth for that and stuff. So.
And we don't have to bring. Go ahead, Denise.
No, I was going to ask if we had to bring tables. I say,
yes. If you have a tent, table, and chair, yes, definitely bring it. If you don't have any of those, let me know because we're still buying and making sure we have what we need. Or we're almost to that point of having everything. But if somebody still doesn't have it, I need to know so I can make sure we get it done in time.
Well, I don't have a tent, but I have a table and chair.
Okay. I'll go back and make sure. You may want to send me an email just as a reminder.
Okay. And all of the booths have electricity?
They'll have access to the poles. Yeah, to the poles so that if you need a fan or something, because right now I have no clue on what the weather's going to be like for that day. Right. It's, thank God, after Memorial Day, which means hopefully less rain possibilities, because usually the rain stops at Memorial Day, but there's no guarantee. And of course it's June, so it will be a little bit warmer. And they do have the concert that evening, so we definitely need to wrap up and be out of there. And it will be our last year there. So we're going to finish it off.
I was going to say, Al, they have that Winsboro book fair in Winsboro on May the 4th. Did you know about that?
I do know about it. Unfortunately, I can't be there because I'm going to be at a different book festival here in Austin on the 4th, and then another one on the 5th in Austin. So I'm going to be here in town. But yeah,
Okay.
we actually worked with Winsboro when they first started theirs, but we had to back out because it was just overwhelming to do their websites and their things and our stuff at the same time. So. But yeah, they've been at it for a few years, so I'm glad to see them at it. So, are you going to be there?
Yes, I'll be there.
You're going to try to do films again?
I'll try, but I got to stay at my table too. So I got, because I didn't, that's so I can sell something.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll
you
try
definitely
to,
need to.
yeah, I'll try to do some too.
Okay.
But I got to get you these first. I got a whole
Yeah.
bunch of.
All right. The next thing on there is the African American Community Lone Star Festival thing. I'm still not getting a whole lot of response. And then somebody made a comment to me that made me stop in my tracks and kind of think about this. And it was basically by doing a Hispanic event and an African American event and our event, which includes everybody, we're still creating that separation of communities instead of bringing them together. And Forney, when we reached out to them, they all seemed eager and said they'd get back to us. And I've sent several emails and I've been ghosted basically. So they're not going to come through. So instead of trying to create another event, I think it's better for me to just stay focused on the Lone Star event and make sure it's as all encompassing as it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, like I said, Seguin is the last year there and the other communities just aren't stepping up like I was hoping. So I'm moving it to Austin for a couple of reasons. One, the city's shown interest in it on a couple of different things, but two, it's a huge community that is more book oriented and book lovers. So I think if we can do it right and get the right sponsors to help us cover the cost of advertising, we should have a much bigger, better event in Austin. And to that point, we already have 10 people who had already paid up their deposits for 2025 because they feel the same way.
You have a date, Alan?
It's
What is the date
June 7th and 8th.
of 2025?
Correct. So it's the first weekend of June, and that's probably what I'm going to keep everything at is first
Okay.
weekend of June.
And where's this at? I mean, what
So the
venue?
location is not specifically assigned yet. We have 3 reservations right now. But because of city rules, some of the items we won't know until 6 months before. So I've got other locations I'm looking at that can give me a yes now that will allow me to book in and get it officially wrapped up and moved forward. The other locations are larger events that the city owns. For example, Fiesta Gardens, which can do 3,000 people. It has a band stage. It has the area for the tents. It also has an area we can rope off for liquor sales. And then we also have a separate building as part of the event where we could do the film festival in and stuff. That's my ideal location. But like I said, it's 6 months prior to the date is when they will open it up and say, yes, you can have it or no, you can't. So that's frustrating, but they also try to keep people from overusing that spot. And that's why they do that. And that's why I'm also looking at other locations within the downtown area, but not specifically downtown. I don't want us to get overwhelmed with traffic and hotel expenses and stuff like that. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit more flexible in that respect. Hopefully I'll have something a little bit more solid by June 1st. But if not, it'll be shortly after that. Any other questions about that? Okay. We still need to find
Can you
staff.
send me some literature so I can pass out at Winsboro if you have any?
I will try to get something printed up and sent to you. Let's see.
Or if you send
I
me
think-
something, I can get it printed up because at the city I get a discount.
Okay. I think I have some extra flyers that I can send to you tomorrow. I'll look. I know I need at least 20 for this weekend, but I should be able to get those done and sent to you so you have them in time. And then I'll print some more up for what I need here in town. I should be able to.
Okay.
Okay, we still need someone to help me as far as getting those ads done for the magazine. I mean, with all the publishers here in Texas, that's great advertising for them, the Ingram Sparks and all those groups. I need someone who can just, excuse me, just focus on that, because I'm doing so much. It's hard for me to stay focused on one thing because of all the other stuff. So if you ever hear of anybody's looking for a part-time job in that respects, please let me know.
Is there any connections with the college there that some student that's majoring in advertising or anything like that we could get some help from?
Like an intern or something.
Yes.
I had not thought of it this time around, but I'm marking notes. So maybe a little late since they're already at the end of school, but I'll look into it definitely. Because yeah, they can definitely help us in some respects. So, and it's good experience for them too. So, somebody else had a comment? Nope. Okay. All right. So the next item was Bookspring. Our partnership's going well with them. People are submitting their stuff. I've not heard back. Charlotte, have you heard anything from them? You're on mute. Charlotte, you're on mute.
Her eyes are closed.
Yeah, Charlotte.
You're on mute.
You're mute.
We can't get it together this evening, can we?
There you
Okay,
go,
now
Charlotte.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Since I was, trying to get a hold of them, you gave me that email and I sent it to her, I guess the next day. And I think it took her 3 or 4 days, but they got back to me and said that they're still working on it and it could be
Okay.
another couple of weeks. And that was what, a week or 2 ago?
At
Ellen?
least, yeah, it was a week ago. So,
So,
okay.
I'll give them another week or so and, reach back at them. But that's,
Yeah, and
they're
I
still
know,
working on it.
yeah, and they're getting ready to do their festival on May 4th. So they're probably focusing more attention on that than the other stuff. But I'll definitely be seeing them on May 4th. So I'll definitely try to see what I can learn from them as well.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, we've gotten some good response from the children's authors about that and stuff. So, we'll see how that progresses. Okay. Tell the World program is still out there, so nothing new to go there. So new business. I mentioned the bookstores. I've outreached to all the ones I knew about. And the ones that did respond, like I said, we are including their logo in the page ad listing. So that I think will help a lot of authors to have a list now to work with and the website to work with and stuff. So we'll see how that goes.
So I have a book signing this Friday in Main Street Book Shop in Rockdale. What do I need? Have you heard of them or gotten into? They're a fairly new bookstore.
Okay, so I'm going to
What
say
do I need
no.
to get to? Yeah.
So really, it's just get their information, email it to me so I can reach
Okay.
out to them.
Okay.
Or I just may add them regardless. I mean, I've got a whole bunch added anyways, just as lines of information. But yeah, just get their information, email it to me. You probably already have their information, so you can just
Right.
email it to me. And I'll
Okay.
reach out to them, see if they're interested. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that would be great.
Do you have the Doc Bookshop in
I'm sorry,
Fort Worth?
Fort Worth.
What's the name?
Doc,
The Doc
D-O-C-K.
Bookshop.
Dobbs, D-O-B-S?
No.
No,
Doc.
DOCK SHOP.
No. So email me their information and I'll reach out to them.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so here's the big one that's going to take us a little bit, hopefully not too much. So the Lone Star Excellence Award, I sent you guys an email, got your responses back on it, so I went forward with it. And then in the last email I sent you was a suggested list of winners. So let me explain who they are and why I'm suggesting them. So let me pull up the page. Where did it go? Okay, so Sharon Jenkins, she has helped us immensely over the years. And then she's got her own writing group and companionship, and she's been at it for a long, long time. I would say a little bit longer than I have. So that's why I nominated her and recommend her as the Texas Author Advocate Award, because she does fight for Texas authors in her own way and stuff. Then the other person was Victoria Quinn. As you saw, hopefully in the newsletter, people could nominate themselves. She is a new author, and she did get people to respond. She had 6 people respond on her behalf, saying why she should be selected and stuff. And then, of course, they were all glowing recommendations and stuff. So that's why she's listed. For the Emporium Award, which is bookstore, I recommended Copperfields because for the last 3 years that I'm aware of, and maybe a little longer, they've had their own book festival at their store outside of on the parking lot. So 2 weeks ago, it was 50 authors were there. I couldn't make it because I wasn't able to do it. But they've been doing it for a few years. So not only do they have book signings in the store, but they have this on an annual event and stuff. And we need to recognize the bookstores that do that. I'm not aware of any other bookstore that has a book festival on their property. So I think that kind of pushes them to the top of the list in that respect. The other one was the Literary Extravaganza, which I can't think of any books festivals that reached that point that we haven't already honored. But if you guys know of an organization that's been doing either book festivals or author events or something that they need to be recognized, please, please, please let me know. Then the publisher, Erin Go Bragh, is Kathleen Shields, which some of you may know her. She has been actively involved with our organization over the years, but she was nominated by a couple of authors. So that's why she's listed. So that's my recommendation. So love to hear your thoughts.
I'm familiar with Sharon Jenkins, the other person I'm not. So I think that, and Sharon's been active with our group, hasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think that would probably be, a good one to go with. As far as the rest of the things, I don't have an opinion. I have never personally been involved with them, but I hear that Talking Animals bookstore does great things with, they're very interactive with authors, independent especially, but I don't have any personal interaction with them. The ladies in Dallas might.
And what's it called again,
Talking
Becky?
Animals?
The Talking Animals bookstore. It's in it's not Grapevine. It's what's one of the stores up the anyway, it's up there.
Grapevine, Grand Prairie.
Grand Prairie, I
okay.
think maybe. No, it's a smaller town.
Right, Grapevine.
Yeah, I think it is Grapevine. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Grapevine. Yeah, I've heard really good things about them.
I never heard of them. Okay.
Independent bookstore, and they have really tried to get involved with a lot of the independent authors, and
Okay.
I hear good things about them.
Okay.
This is the first time I've heard about them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Talking Animals.
Talking Animals. And they do a lot of promoting on the website, and I mean on the internet, and I've been intending to go up there and meet them, but I visit, but I never have. So
Well, we're gonna help you out and go see it and let you know.
Okay. No, just invite me to come with you.
There we go.
But anyway, as far as that, I'll agree with all the ones that you say because I don't have any input, personal experience with any of those. So
Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'm like her. I don't really have I don't any experience with them, but I think you are a good judge of character about things like that. So I'm gonna go with it.
Denise and Denise, what about the the African American Book Festival?
It's gonna be in November.
Yeah,
Right, but
Tusaloma.
how many years have they been doing it?
Oh, Tusaloma's been doing it a number of years. We just found out last year, but they've been doing it at the African American Museum for a number of years.
Yeah,
So,
and that Doc Bookshop, they just did a book fair at the
At the African American Museum. Mhm.
But they do stuff every week. You can go on their website. They do stuff with authors every week. This week on the 27th, they're gonna have, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of him, Omar Epps. Have y'all ever heard of him? He's an actor.
He's an actor.
He's done, if you ever saw like Love and Basketball or Minister Society. I mean, he's done a lot of roles. And so he's written a book, and so he's gonna be there this weekend doing a book signing. So they have a lot of people. They had Deion Sanders there. They have a lot of people that come in and do book signings. They do poetry every Tuesday night. They do poetry events and things. So they do a lot of events. They do that. And so that's the only a thing about them. So, but I'm not saying nominate them for this time, maybe next year or something like that. Maybe they can get in there once they come on board with something, but I think they will.
okay. Back to the Dallas event. Of that book festival and the ones you guys were at in San Antonio, which one do you think was better?
The Tusaloma, to me, the
Tusaloma.
one at the African American Museum.
Okay. Do you want to nominate them for that award?
I would, because they actually have a bookstore in the museum, and they feature a lot of artists in there. So yeah, I would mind they would be a good store to recommend. Yeah.
Okay. And by recommending, I'm meaning the one that we don't have someone listed, which was the Extravaganza, which would be a book festival.
So hang on, let me get my phone again and read it again, Alan. So come
So
on.
the Lone Star Literary Extravaganza is referring to an event that is either a writer's group or a book festival or something of that nature.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The one in San Antonio, it was okay, but this one they did more to support the authors, I believe they did. So yeah, I would, if I were to recommend one, it would be them.
Okay.
Denise, you think of what
No, I think it would be them for me too, because I think it was a lot more organized. It was and they had people there, so it wasn't, they had the authors there in San Antonio, but I don't know if the flow of the people was as great. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Charlotte, do you have
Yes,
anyone you recommend or anything?
I've been trying to think. The only one I could think, and as far as extravaganzas and that, I don't have any in that. But I was looking back at the author thing, and I was thinking about Judy Lowe, but we've already
She's won.
awarded her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's already won one. So
Right.
she was the only one I was thinking of that I still see a lot of. She posts a lot. She actually reads online to kids. She goes into schools and, but she's
Mhm.
still, but she won, what was that, 2017 or 18?
I believe I have her for 18, but yeah.
18, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. She won, you
Okay.
know.
All right, so then with the people that I have recommended and now adding in for the extravaganza, the African American Book Festival in Dallas. Are y'all good with that as far as this year?
Yeah.
Because, it's short notice and stuff, but if with that, if somebody wants to make a motion to accept that list for this year's Best Texas Award winners.
I'm making
I'll
a
motion. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And I'll second.
All right. So all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All righty, that was shorter than I expected. Yay. All righty. So the only other new business was this program I created called Books for Earth. It is designed as another way for us to be able to offer a marketing service to the authors, but at the same time help raise funds for planting trees and renewable services and for the museum. So it was a $25 donation per title. And we've raised $175. So that was 6 or 7 books that we did. So I like to definitely make that as an annual thing that we continue throughout the year as an option for authors to have as a cheap way to help market themselves. I mean, $25 for 2 months if they're not a member, 3 months if they're a member of the organization worth of marketing, which is pretty cheap.
So what is, explain that to me.
Okay, so do you remember the marketing that we did for Texas Independence Day?
No.
No, okay.
I'm
So
sorry,
ba-
I don't remember. I mean, remind me
That's
I may,
fine.
but
So basically, I make an ad that's 4 inches by 4 inches, basic square.
Mhm.
That has the book cover, a very short statement or something related to the book, and then the link to where people can buy it. And then we post it on our social media system, 40,000 people. In this case, it'll be once a week for 2 to 3 months. Again, it's 3 months if they're a member of the organization, 2 months if they're not a member. And it's $25.
okay.
So, simple, easy, cheap
Mhm.
way of doing it. And, like I said, so far we've gotten $175 raised for that. So a portion will go to RMI, which is the Rocky Mountain Institute, which is about renewable energy, and they work around the world. The other one is One Tree Plant, One Tree Planted, which plants trees to regain their forest and stuff like that. They also are around the world. So it's, as authors, we depend on the books. We depend on the electricity to get our books out there. And now with electronics, we depend on that. So
Yeah.
it's a way of being able to create an emblem that they'll be able to use on their website saying, yes, a portion of my sales is going to help the earth. It's a double fold in that respect. It's reminding people, hey, we're using the resources. Let's kind of give back a little bit. It's also 10 cents per book with the initial deposit of $25. That's 250 books that they have to sell to make up for that. So that's not a big deal really overall. We actually come out better than the authors in some way because we know they don't all sell that many books. But that's the program in a nutshell. Any comments?
No, sounds good. I just didn't remember. I read it, but I didn't remember what that program was. So
Yeah, short and sweet,
You got a lot of good stuff going on now.
as always. All right, so somebody want to make a motion to make this as an regular program throughout the year?
sure, if
I
it's
make a
working, I think
motion
it's
that
great.
Yeah, we do this program throughout the year.
Right.
Second,
Mhm. So I'll be, promoting it every so often to remind people about the program and, the marketing stuff. And it's cheap marketing, $25 for 3 months, basically. That's pretty cheap. So, Okay, with that in mind, everybody say aye.
Aye.
All righty.
Uh,
So the only thing left, the book festival at Copperfields that I was supposed to be at a couple weeks ago, I couldn't make it simply because we didn't have any money. And that's just all there was to it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to interview any of those authors that were there. There was 50 of them, and I can get there to interview.
Where was it
them.
held at, Al?
In Houston. It was actually North Houston, Spring, Texas.
Alan, I
So-
wish you would let us know when it's things like that you want to do. I wouldn't mind just donating something.
Well, I appreciate that, but at the same time, we need to get past that. We
I
need to
understand.
have that, so that volume of money coming in. It's frustrating, to say the least, but yeah, it's just one of those things that we need to figure out how to bring the members back or get the new members. I mean, we need that money. I mean, in 2019, we were averaging easily 3,000 a month in income that allowed us to do the marketing event, be at the Texas Book Festival, be at the Texas Library Conference, and try to keep prices down for everybody. I mean, we just don't have that extra money to do it. And right now, we're averaging pretty close to $1,000 a month in expenditures, for websites and, postal service and mailing and traveling to these events and all this other stuff. And, yeah, we're still recovering just like everybody else is. So we need to figure out a way to bring in that money. And, the Books to Earth is one way. Hopefully this award program will help spark more people's interest, the magazine, whatever way I can think of it, you've seen it. You've gotten the emails, I'm trying. But
Yeah.
there's also that point that I need for you to, if you come up with an idea, just email it to me, so we can try to figure out how to make it work.
So earlier, I think I was muted when I asked who, you asked about the magazine. I thought it looked great. Who received that? Who sees that?
So through the newsletter, we send it out to 1,000 people. Plus then on social media, I'm putting it out there and stuff. So we're averaging pretty close to about 1,000 people accessing the page and looking at it,
Mhm.
roughly. It goes up and down when I look at it and try to calculate, okay, how many this month and how many last month and stuff like that. So
So we
right
need
now,
more people to look at it so that more people will want to advertise in it, correct?
th-
that
make
would
the
be a good
value
way
of the
to-
advertising.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and that way they would want to advertise. So how do we get more people to look at it?
Good question. Yeah.
we sure we
Um,
don't want to at least charge $2 or something? Because if we had 1,000 people, that's $2,000 right there.
It is, but again, the value of it. We're only 2 issues into it, and that's kind of hard to say.
Yeah.
It's worth the $2. Plus, it's all electronic, and all the things that are electronic right now are not really charging that much for magazines and or newspapers and stuff.
Is there
Um,
a, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Is there a place on there, like at the end, that says if you've enjoyed this or you found it of value, please consider donating? It could be 99 cents or,
Mhm.
consider donating to our organization to keep it up and going.
I can
like
add that
that.
donation link.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, I can definitely add that for the next issue. And I can even
No
go
one
back
may
to
do
see-
it, but we could
Yeah.
try.
I mean, we gotta try everything we can, yeah. And I can definitely add it to the magazine website page, so that's not a problem. I'm hoping the articles that we have in there are of value. I would personally, I would love to see this in a physical print, but it's just way too expensive.
Yeah, no.
We're not selling enough issues for that. But it
Are we
is,
a for-profit or a non-profit?
we are a
Okay.
nonprofit.
Oh, well, we need to have our donation thing up all the time.
Say that again?
I said, we need to have our donation button up all the time. Is it ways for them to donate on the website?
Oh, yeah, it's right at the top.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, believe me, I push that as much as I can.
And you know what we can do? We can, when we sit, we can share it with other book clubs. So we could share it with other book clubs and see what and that would help too, to see if
Mhm.
and that would help get some interest. Because I
Yeah,
know I'm in about 2 or 3 book clubs, or Facebook book clubs.
You can easily pull the link down from the website
Mhm.
and share it with people. It's meant to be shared. It's meant to be out there and stuff. And with constantly doing research and stuff, I haven't found any other writers group or anybody in Texas doing a magazine for authors. So I think that will help us in that respect as well, as being able to say, we have articles pre-published and published in marketing, and about the museum for you. We have the resources, and again, making it show that we have value. We've always had value. It's just getting people to remember that and to be
Right.
willing to give their money to us. It's like, let go of your wallets. But I understand, inflation is still killing us. I mean, gas prices went up again, and it's just like, ugh. So,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah. So anything you can think of to help me, definitely let me know. I put out on social media constantly. Don't forget to check out the magazine. Hey, have you seen the newest issue? And stuff like that. So,
Give me the link, Alan.
so if you go to our website, texasauthors.institute, and it's up at the top, you'll see the magazine, and you can see the collection, which has all the issues or the individual issues.
So back to your issue of not having gas money to get to Houston or Spring. What can we do about that? How can we make sure that you at least have the gas to get there?
Yes.
Yes, because we can do that, because I know we wanted to get the other stuff going, but until that happens, is it a monthly donation you want us to give, or just give what we can when we can? How do you want us to do it?
What if we called it a travel fund or something?
Yeah.
Making something.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Yes.
other people could donate to it also, put it up there that, we have a travel fund for Alan to take our books to the world or whatever.
Okay, so in reference to that, I have the event coming up this weekend and we're covered. We have the money for that.
Okay.
Then
You got
the
money
next,
to eat and stuff?
I'm sorry?
You got money to eat and everything?
Yeah, we're good. The
Okay.
hotel room and the food and the gas, as long as the gas prices don't go up, we're all good on this weekend.
Okay.
The next events are May 4th, and they're both here in Austin, so there's no issue there.
Okay.
Then we have one in
You got
Dallas.
June 1st again.
Well, no, before that we have Dallas on the 18th, and then we have Houston. No, it's just May 4th and then Dallas on the 18th. Those are the only 2 events in May. That
What's
we have
going
coming up.
on the 18th?
Yeah, what's going on the 18th, Alan?
Dallas is lit. It's the Writers Garrett, their literary festival, and they have an authors event on the 18th, I believe it is. Yeah, on Saturday the 18th.
Is that the one that costs about $400?
I have no idea. Most of these, I don't even do those things. Let's see here if I can find a price for it. And they have different things. trying to figure out.
Have any of you, while he's looking that up, have any of you ladies in the Dallas area ever done the Inkers Con?
Inkers, spell
Uh-huh.
that, Becky.
INKERS. And
No, what
it's
is that?
coming, it's the first weekend in June, or maybe the
Uh-huh.
second weekend in June. It's in Dallas. And I always intend to go, but I've never have yet. They have it in different cities, but the one in Dallas is I think always in June.
So it's INK.
ERS.
Okay, it's a literary festival.
No, it's a convention. It's a writers convention.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, I had never heard of him.
Do you
Okay.
also know about the book bonanza coming up in Grapevine?
Nope.
No.
It's
Oh,
June 13th through the 15th.
And
They've
which one
got-
is that?
It's called Book Bonanza.
And it's
They only
June
have
what, Alan?
13th through the 15th. And it looks like they've got about 70 authors.
oh wow.
Okay. Okay, so Becky, I'm looking up Inkers. And June 7th through the 9th. Okay, Texas online access can be released. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. It's good,
It is, but
but it's probably a good deal.
yes, I've heard good things about it. I don't know. And maybe that's something eventually, Alan, you could go to and get connections there. I don't know.
Yeah. And the one I was looking up for the price, they have not put their tickets on sale yet, so there's no pricing list. Do you guys, is it just on Facebook for Inkers?
I looked up the
On their
website.
email. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on their email list, so I don't know.
I'll dig into it tomorrow. And then there's another event in Dallas in September that I'm signed up for. Let
Mhm.
me see if I can find it real quick. The Dallas Fort Worth Writers Conference, October 5th through the 6th, I believe it is. And that's October. And I'm
Yeah, I
signed
think
up for
it's-
that.
That's the
When
one
did-
about
It's in October. Is that what you said? What'd you say?
Correct, October 5th through the 6th.
And what is it?
The Dallas Writers Conference.
Mhm.
But anyway, so what were you saying as far as, you've got it covered through May,
I have
No.
this weekend covered, so.
you have this weekend, so
So-
May is the next one.
Right, so what I
Okay.
will do is about roughly 3 to 4 days before the event that I'm supposed to be going to. If the money's not there, I'll put a notice out to the board and saying, okay, if you want to help out, this is what we need. And then
okay.
you guys can see how your
Mhm.
pocketbooks look and go from there. Does that work?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's only 2 events in May, so, we'll see. Hopefully, we're definitely, it's too short notice to get anybody to sign up for the June 1st event, even though I got somebody today, which surprised me. But getting them to reserve for 2025 or getting them to join the membership or to participate financially in some way for what we do and stuff, I think will help, for everybody I see from this weekend on. Ideally, getting members is the best thing, but we'll see. Getting the names, getting their addresses, getting them on the email list is the most important thing to continue to build and show them what we do so that they start participating and stuff.
Alan, do you know of any, I haven't been to Seguin in a minute, a hotel? Because
We have a hotel room block. So if
You
you go
do?
to so if you go to our website, the Lone Star Festival, LoneStarFestival.fun, and then under pages, go to hotel, there's a link to the hotel and you can register on there.
Okay.
And there's some fun things for our families to do too, right? Well,
Mhm. I
yeah, in
believe it's,
fact,
yeah, I
I
have
told
that on
Roger I
there.
wanted to go to those. He can't go without me.
Yeah, I got to follow up with the city, see if they have any additions or changes to that. But yeah, there's still some things that they can do and stuff.
Yeah.
so.
Okay. And it's that Saturday and we, you know how usually how you have them come in on Friday. So it's gonna be that Saturday, right?
Right. Yeah, and that was another thing, which we hadn't discussed. Trying to get artists there. Pretty much all of them were saying, if it's just a one-day event, it's not going to work for me because they're bringing in their artwork, which means,
Mhm,
setting it up, tearing it down. They want the 2-day program,
mhm.
and that's why I've moved it to 2 days for next year. Because I need to make sure we have the artists there. We're getting more and more musicians interested in it. We're working with Ham here in Austin to get more musicians. So that's definitely happening. Once we get past this film festival thing, I'll be working on that. So it's just working with the artists, getting them to sign up and be part of it and stuff. And currently, as of right now, we do have 54 vendors for Seguin.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Um,
great. Okay.
Yeah. We have plenty of space for a lot more, and I'd love to see more because I'd love to get more money in to make sure we have money for proper advertising and stuff, because we're almost to that point. But, we're heading in the right direction, so that's good. We'll just see how it continues on. It's 7:30. That is it on the agenda. I'm opening it up to you guys. What are your thoughts, things that we should consider, look at, do, whatever?
I think everything we suggested here tonight is a great start. It's a good way
Yep.
to get everything started. And I'm glad we have that many vendors for Seguin. That sounds good. So I think, like you say, we're on the right track. It's just kind of a slow chug along there. So
Yeah. I'm definitely more excited this year than I was last year about everything, because we are seeing that increase. It's extremely slow, but we are seeing the increase, and that's what's important.
It will come.
Tomorrow. All right, well, if there's nothing else, who would like to make a motion to adjourn?
I guess this just came to my thought. What about, I know we've been doing the interviews for years, but what about if we just do a podcast?
In what context?
Talk about all things writing.
Okay, there are already a lot
And then
of,
we can still do interviews on the podcast. I think that's what I was thinking, but I didn't know if that would bring us some income or not. That's why I was thinking about it.
I'm not 100% against it. I'm frustrated that the authors aren't signing up to do the interviews. I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny to go back and look at the ones that have been done 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago, and people are still watching those. So, I mean, that's great marketing value for authors. So, I don't get why they're not using that resource. It's a free service for them. But anyways, as far as the podcast, all things writing, we're competing against others that are doing it, but we need to fine tune how we're going to be different, how we're going to be unique, and if is it really worth the time and energy and the cost to do it. We need to narrow that down, and then I would say let's move forward and see what we can create. So with that in mind, Denise, Bryson,
I
it's
guess
your
I'm over it.
idea.
I'm leading it out.
Feel free to call me and let's see what we can come up with.
Okay.
Any other ideas?
No?
And you know, one thing I did note in San Antonio, they had some children's authors that had written quite a bit. I don't know
Yeah.
if that's something that we could include in something. I'm gonna think about that too as I'm thinking about the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got 4 children's authors at Seguin, and 2 of them have written over 20 books each. One has
Ooh.
written, I think, a dozen. I'm not sure about the other one. But yeah, Kathleen and Judy are the top 2 that are coming to mind. They weren't there last year, but there's definitely planning on being there this year, so.
I mean, so they're kids.
No, we're talking, Alan, we had actually had children that had written books.
Oh,
Act- We had a
I've
lot of-
not had anyone do that this year. But yeah, I definitely would love to see those kids there. Yeah, most definitely. When I talk to them at other events and stuff, I try to encourage them to participate in some way, whether it be teenagers or younger. I mean, there's some good authors out there that are young. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, I'll think about that too, how to do that. Okay.
And they definitely, if we can come across them, they would be the ones that would be definitely new voices,
Yes.
award people and stuff. So, yeah. That goes back to our student short story program, trying to encourage the young writers and stuff. So we have future writers. So, okay. Anything else?
No, not at this time.
All right. With that, then, who would like to motion?
I motion that we will, well, Lord, I motion that we will close our meeting out. This has been an amazing meeting.
Yes.
Yes, I appreciate y'all being here. Who would like to second that?
I'll second.
Second.
All right.
Okay.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
All righty. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I appreciate your time, and I will do
Good
some
night, y'all.
follow-ups.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Good
Bye-bye.
night.